Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Workday Adaptive Planning 2021 R2 release highlights. This is Rena Driver, Director at Armanino, presenting for you. I lead our adaptive implementation practice here at Armanino, and I've been doing adaptive consulting for about 8 years. And here are the key highlights from the latest 2021 R2 release. There are 6 key highlights here that I really want to focus on that I think are really nice improvements with this release. So we'll start with the erase data. This one was very exciting for me personally. Before this release, you could only erase actuals using the navigation menu. You never had the ability to erase plan data with 2 clicks right there in the integration menu, and now you do. So you now have the ability to erase data on any plan version. Of course, still ability to erase data on actuals version. You can also even have the flexibility to select certain GL accounts or custom accounts, handpick individual accounts to erase, and even pick which levels you would like to erase. So before, I know it's been a struggle trying to erase plan data or erase just the balance sheet, but keep the income statement or vice versa. And now you have the ability to do that in just a few clicks here. So the erase data replaced erase actuals in the integration menu and now gives the users a lot more flexibility on controlling their data. The next big update here is the ability to make dimensions required columns in modeled sheets. So I know a lot of folks use model sheets for personnel or capital or OpEx, and a lot of times dimensions are not, a required field. So end users could put in some line items, forget to populate a dimension, and that could have some very negative impacts, especially if your dimension was, say, GL account spend, and that tag for GL account spend was the mapping back to the GL account. And then if end users missed populating it, they missed having expenses flow into their budget. So now for things like GL account spend or budget type or anything that's really important to you, it does have to be a dimension, and it cannot be set to read only. And kind of once you get that set up, if the end user creates a row and they do not populate that column, it'll highlight that column and that row in a red asterisk. And when they go to save this sheet, they will get an error message that tells them they need to fix the row before they can save it. Even on the import template, it does move the column of that dimension over to the far left side where you usually see your required columns, and the template will recognize if you are missing data in any of the required columns. So this is a really nice improvement for, just having that overall control of the budget process to make sure line items are not missed and details are not missed being populated. So here's an example screenshot of how to start using this setting. So if you do go to your model management screen, click edit next to your modeled sheet and click on columns and levels, you'll see your builder here. And if you click on any dimension here, GL account being my example that I shared, you'll see this new box here on the far right that says mark as a required column. Once you check this box and hit save, and then go back to the front of the sheet, you'll see in my sample line item here, I did not populate a GL account, which is a required column now, and it's highlighting this section in red. I then went to try and save this row, and I got this error message here saying populate the required cells in the highlighted rows. So really nice control here. The next big improvement here is if you are on Workday HCM, you can actually automatically create job recs from your personnel sheet in Workday HCM. So this is really exciting for the users that are both on Workday HCM and Adaptive. So any job rec row that you publish from your modeled sheet automatically creates that job rec in Workday HCM. Preserving data when adding account formulas. So when the master formulas feature came out, previously what that automatically did when you added a new formula is it told you, warning, this is going to erase any hard-coded data that you had maybe on a previous budget version or actuals, and now this is the formula for all of time. So you had to always be very mindful about that when creating a master formula. And now you have the ability to actually tell Adaptive, okay, I'm adding this master formula, but preserve all of the data entry on the existing version and only add this default formula to my current version. Or you can select the option that says replace, which says, okay, that's fine. Replace all of the existing data on previous versions, even if they are locked, and add my formula. So this is a nice feature to give the users that flexibility to decide if they really do want to add that master formula across the board or hold on to some historical data that's been sitting on that account. So this is the sample screen that you will see if you go to create a new master formula on, say, a custom account or a GL account. After you've entered the formula into that formula assistant box and go to click save, this will be the second screen that you will see, and you have the ability to select either of these options or completely cancel out of that. There's some other user experience improvements. This first one here I really, really like, being able to suppress zeros and blanks in Explorer Cell. So if you do go into Explorer Cell and there's 1,000 rows of vendors and all of them are zero, this will only show you the details of that month that have values in them, which should make it a lot easier to sift through the Cell Explorer. You can even set the maximum number of rows in Explorer Cell under your general setup in the administrative screen of Adaptive. You now have the ability to drill into transactions from Cube standard accounts. So if you had set up your P&L as just Cube standard accounts or was replicating your P&L as Cube standard accounts, you can now load transactions into Cube standard accounts to get that full experience of having GL balances and transactions, even if you are not using the true root GL accounts. A couple of different options on hiding cube sheet rollup totals, so you can play around with that and see what's a more desirable view to have. You've probably already noticed the new interface on the sheets overview, the reports overview, the workflow overview, and the help screen. So it's just kind of the continued cohesive Workday interface that you've seen. And one update for Office Connect that I thought was a nice one is the ability to exclude uncategorized elements from the expand all feature. So those are my main highlights that I wanted to focus on. There are many more within this release that you can browse through. If you do go to Adaptive's help screen, you can click right on to the 2021 R2 release notes and read through all of them in details. Or if you have any questions at all about these features or anything related to Adaptive features or releases, feel free to reach out to us directly with your questions. Thank you all and have a great day.